Hey everyone, Pedro here. Today I'll start a series about managing a circle community. I'll start with the settings, so very basic stuff, but the best way for you to start building yours. So we can see here that we are already on the settings page in the general tab where you set up your name, your community name, the URL, and later I'll show where to set up the custom domain. You can see there is a link here. Here is also where you make your community private or public. And you can see that if I toggle on, then you can change for members to sign up and where. Set up a link and also set up a call to action. Then you can set up the branding, your color, your logo, your icon, your tab icon in the browser, and the reply to email for notifications and the general email for people to get in touch. Here's where you also set up the defaults. You can enable the community switch. There is this tab here where you can switch to other communities in Circle that you're at as well. You can enable the iOS app. Circle still doesn't have the Android app, but you can enable here. You can show the banner where I'll show later here on onboarding on the iOS browsers as well, where you enable browsers notifications, so those push-ups that browsers have. Here is where you can allow index user profiles, and that depends on the type of your community. So you can enable or disable, and the truncate post comments and body in email notifications. Email notifications, I'm going to show the newsletter with the weekly digest, but truncations is this read more. You can enable or disable. And also customize the call to action for private posts and share links. The private posts and share links, let me show an example here, is where when you have a post, you're going to click here, and then you can set up the teaser. So if we open on an anonymous browser, and you can set up the teaser here. Going back here, we have this amazing feature that is add new members to this default space. This you can use in many kind of ways. You can select all the spaces that your members will have access from the first moment that they arrive in your community. And this you can play like for having private space, where we'll talk later, that if you have your community space that are public and space that are private, then you can already add your members to the public spaces. So let's go to onboarding here in settings, and here we have 4 types of onboarding. So emails that don't have Circle account, emails that already have, so if they are coming from other community, then they probably will have already a Circle account. The onboarding pop-up after account sign up. The pop-up is this one here. So I cannot show exactly because it needs to be the first login, but it is similar to this banner. And you can set up all the welcome, the call to action, and the link as well. And also send an onboarding email to welcome them. So here's all to onboarding, and later we can talk about as well about doing some integrations with Zapier and Integromat. So in general, we had the custom domain. Here's where you set up the custom domain. On code snippets, this is just an amazing feature where you can highly customize your Circle community. You can see that already here we have this frequently asked questions. This is a code snippet that I add. You can see here the elements, and Circle has tons of other fun stuff that you can do. I'm gonna go over some customizations in another video. Here you have your member tags, and you can manage your tags, change the colors, tag members. But let me show you from start. Creating a member tag, you can set up the tag member, tag name, the icon, the color, and show tags on member profiles. You can select where you're going to show it, if it's going to show the full label or just the icon with the tooltip where when somebody hovers over the mouse, it's going to show the label. And you can already apply it to some members here. But this is just mostly to create. We can see later as well in another video, like how you can add tags through invitation links and also through some automations. The weekly digest is also another amazing feature that they have. So it's a weekly newsletter that auto-generate through the conversations and discussions in your community. So you have to enable here, so it's all along, and you can customize the introduction that is going to show up like this. I don't know why the logo is not showing, but it's going to show like this week on the road and the date. This is the introduction, and here you can see the most engaged posts that we have this week, and also some popular comments as well. That is those that are most liked. You can choose to hide popular posts, you can choose to hide popular comments or stats. Like here it's going to show how many comments, how many members, and things like that. And also hide new members. So here at the bottom it's going to show new members this week. Usually show only new members, but it is a nice feature that you can toggle. The home, it is also differential for circle communities. The home is this place where I was at. It's gonna show, so you can set up here how many training pods you want. The default sort, so popular for logged in users, logged out if your space is public. You can show posts from all public space and the logged in defaults as well. So the default page for existing members, you can pick any space for new members and show a welcome banner. So this is the welcome banner, and members can always close here if they do not want to see it anymore. And also you can change this banner every week depending on the goals that you have. So here we can allow for them to close, and also the same for logout defaults. You can change as well. Here is where you change all the meta for SEO reasons, and whenever somebody shares the community, then you can choose what's going to show in the meta description. So the home is great because it shows the trending posts, the latest, and they can always sort. We have the embed feature where you can embed your community in other places. We know that a lot of people that use Teachable, it is embedding their community inside Teachable. This is probably the most common use case that I know. But yeah, you can embed in another app. If you have your brand's app, you can embed there as well. And we have the space for moderation. So here it's going to show up all posts for you to approve or reject. And then you can browse through those who were approved and rejected. And here we have the settings where you can flag, like if only one person already flagged this member, then all other activity is going to be flagged, so it's not going to show up. Here you can toggle, like if one member got one stuff reported rejected, then everything else is going to be flagged as well. It's a way for you can keep it clean, and you can always change here later. You can always deflag a member as well. So you can moderate, auto moderate here in moderation. Here's where you set up SSO. You can enable and disable if you have like a provider, then you can set up here. Messaging is the message here where you can enable direct messages inside your community and also group messaging. This also can be enabled and disabled at user levels, so your members can disable the messaging for there. So if you don't want to get messages through Circle, then the members can disable that. Here's where you manage your plans and everything that is included. You can check here. And lastly, the bidding. So yeah, this covers the general settings. Let me know if you have any doubts, and we're gonna go over to some other stuff here. See ya.